Hey, NASDOG, where you get the best dope on the markets. We are going to talk grains today. This is today is Saturday, May. I am your host, Alan Palmer. And what do I got a problem here with? Okay. Now, this is just, you know what? I usually like the candlesticks. This is corn. Okay. This is July corn, which actually is at an all time record under D's. Okay, so this is what we did. This is January. Okay, this was this USDA bearish number. Okay, talked about that. Talked about it over here. That when we get over that, okay, and this is what we did. These are some. These are not long term. Okay, but here, this is 25. Okay, so you can see I have some olive lines up here. I got an orange. I got a yellow. Okay, and then I got a green. Okay. Oh no. See the green? Over here, if the levels extend farther to the left, then that means they're longer term than whatever's on the bottom, right? Because if that's 25, and then here we are halfway through. As a matter of fact, we just closed the month of May. So, and this is actually an old chart, but I just wanted to show this as perspective in corn. July corn right down here. Look at this. We got a lot of support here, okay, right down here. 438-ish. Okay, it's only 8 cents away. So first time down. We'll see. If it was to slice through there, let's just see here. Let's just for shits here. This was a long-term olive line. Okay, remember that 402? That was last year. And then here, down there at 398 in the goats. See that up down there? In the bottom right-hand corner. This is corn. This is July corn. I just have things mapped out down there, okay? So when you come in here, these are probably some old lows. And then that powder blue is a little bit more important, kind of like this powder blue right here at 454.5. We've been wrestling. Here it was a low. We came all the way back up here to the high. We failed. We start trading lower here. Okay, and then we dick around right around here by these reds. Okay, we play one of these trend lines once. And Friday, we took out the previous day's high and closed under the previous day's low. Okay, that's an outside down day. You closed under here. Listen, this could get hairy here. You know what? Here, let's just try to do a trading one. Okay, I just put these in. Under 438, 429. Okay, 421. Hang on. I'm sorry. You know what? I was just looking at that too. There's certain pages here on CQG that the column gets when I go to a full page. Okay, so here, I apologize. July corn. We're looking at July corn here. Okay, so, and then 43 was new there. That could catch, just above. Anyway, this is a level with a lot of support. Especially since we went really fast here. The funds are long. And I talked about it. Would they get them long and then blow them out on the downside here? Just positing, 6 months ago or something, coming into the summer. Okay, and we had the Beanoil down at 49. So that's corn, and under here you got 429. This is July corn here. Okay, so we're getting close. We got to delivery, but that's fine. That's when a lot of this stuff happens. These would be some areas, maybe, put a one lot in to buy at each one, just so you know. 421, yeah, that sounds appetizing. And then 415 and 410. Round up, just in case, okay? But I think these over here, first of all, that we got to do is this one right here, 438. And you know what? Let's just put that up on a monthly and just see what that is here. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is the same. As a matter of fact, you know what? This is exactly the same in back month cattle here, the month of May here. Okay, so we got an outside. So we took out last month's high, actually came back up here, did a double top here. What was this? 87.5? 87.5. 487.5. Wow. 4 7/8. Anyway, you can see here I had these long-term lines also around these greens here. Here you got a light green here and a green.
You can see up here. You can just see here. I'll blow it up here just so you can see. Okay, 79, 79 and 3/8, 480. Okay, that's all within a penny, right? And then here you got another one at 80 and a quarter. Okay, that's why it's a real potent number. Okay, so we got over it here. You blow stops the first time, then you come back and they play. You take those out, and look at this. By the end of the month, you're down here. You know. That was your chance to sell some corn on a rally, cash corn, you know, or hedge your D's, okay, you know, or hedge your D's because there's a shitload of corn around. Okay, I should have done this one first. This is Beanoil. Okay, here, long-term chart. Okay, I'm going to change it. Okay, so we got some sets right there. Okay, and I got a new set. Okay. This, oops, hang on. Okay. The 78.82, 78.89, two levels right here. Okay. This is not the way I do it, but this is a thin commodity just in case. Just in case. This one we came up here, we broke 300 in 2 days. Okay. And we covered. Okay. We covered. And this is what we did. We chopped around. And then here, look at this. You know, you open down here. You know, coming in here. Okay, here. Let's just look at that right there. Here, hang on a second here. Okay, so when you have an order down here, or you're buying a gap, or you're buying it against those lows. Oh, this is where we closed here the day before. This wasn't really indicative. I was going to say here, if you close here, you know, then you're looking down there. If you are looking to buy, you know, if you are looking to buy. This was one of these oranges. Anyway, so we got these, two of them right here, okay? One is a thick, one is also a thin. Here's the thin, there's the thick. Here's the thin, there's the thick, okay? 81.27, and this is at 78. This is under the 79 handle, you know? And you cannot rule out that they just continue to run, or they run for a couple bars during the day, you know, a couple buying bars, okay? And then by the end of the day, they'll set back, okay? So that's a game plan here in Beanoil. What's interesting here, what if crude goes down $10 and then they run the Beanoil up on like the ethanol thing? You know, the Beanoil is biodiesel, okay? Man. You sell 100 Beanoil up here, you know, or even here, you know, because here, everybody's looking up now. Here, we closed. Let's look at a daily here on the Beanoil. This might be all we do. Okay, daily on the Beanoil. Okay. Let me just touch on the, you know, this is not my normal page here. Okay, the other part of that equation, okay, because so there's demand is high for Beanoil, okay, so one of them has to be the junk. The soybean meal or the soybean oil, okay? I don't mean to say junk, but, you know, it's in excess. And here's Dees meal here. Look at this daily chart. Look at this. You think they hit something where these guys are selling it against 330? Okay, there is an olive up here, okay, of something. Here was the thin olive sell. Here you had the miss. Here you had the miss when you go fast. Okay, they miss it because then you know you'll have, well, you know, the algos or the guys designing the data scientists know there's going to be more stops up there, you know, or the trader. Here you actually hit it, you know, so you're coming up around here, and that's why the level is explicit, 323.20, 326.20. Let's go look at the July here because the July got up to 330, yeah, 335. 334.90, okay? 335, call it. That's 10 cents, which is $10. Okay, it's $100 a buck. Okay, per one lot. Per one lot of futures. This is soybean meal July. Okay, these are olive cells here, okay? Not all-time highs here. There's here, see? But there's actually nothing really up right there. There's a red. So this stuff has been a lot higher, okay? But in the whole scheme of things, with my olive line psychology, this is at an extreme. People are paying up to buy into it. Okay. Anyway, so this is where we printed, and then here yesterday, outside down here also. Okay. You know, listen, it's bearish. Here, let's look at the August, and I'll just put it longer term here. A weekly. Okay. Here, now the price column won't matter as much here. Oh, I guess I got it moved over here. Oh yeah, here, Getter's very nice. You just join it. It's got live streams. It's not, they don't censor you. Okay, so here's meal. Okay, 10% swan dive. You know, and beware, because that Beanoil could do that. And at the same time, I always get a little worried as we go up to these olive lines. You know, so play it accordingly. Get a hold of me. So this is meal. Okay, enough of that. Okay, and let me just tell you here, this is page here. I'm on page 132. This page is like named junk. Well, it is. If you have CQG and you ever have problems, if you ever lose your pages, okay, you make duplicates of them. Just throw them in the back, call them junk. So anyway, this was a line I had talked about to buy when you're on this break here, as things are getting worse in wheat. This is wheat. This is July wheat. Okay, closed at 610. We were down 14 cents. 14 times $50, $700. Okay. Anyway, these are long-term trend lines here. Okay, and you know, even on after they come back, because they're long-term. Here you come down to this blue one here, you bounce, and then you start setting it back over here. You're playing these same numbers on the way up as you are on the way down, okay, in the whole macro scheme. Okay, here's a low 605 and a quarter. 602 is an old green here. I don't know. And this could here. You wanna another one? Just there, 598 and 592. Okay, you know, early in the week, you know, if they get the margin call, or you know, the funds are just selling this thing, those would be a couple levels there in the wheat. Let's take a look at beans. These are not these are long-term charts here, so it's whatever I had and the last time I updated it. But this just shows you that the shelf life of my charts. You know, right here, $12 and 1201 and 7/8. This is July. What was the high? $12.75 of 1 cent. Okay, so you hit this, whatever this is. What is this, trend line? Let's see what that trend line is. Okay, March of 24 and February of 24. Okay, I don't know what it is. Okay, but it was the high this week. Okay, you know, and when you're trading here, it depends how much risk tolerance you have. If you're trading with, you know, like $100 on a one lot or something, it's a 2 cent stop. You know, or you know, you got to put a nickel 6 cent stop. You know, if you were going to play here. You can't get married into, if you're going to say that this is going to be the number that fails, okay, it could, but then all of a sudden if it goes up, you can't be saying, okay, I'll give it 15 cents worth of heat, meaning loss. So, and then all of a sudden it gets over there and then it's $1,000 a one lot. You know, it's just my take on it. You know, just being a trader. These are trading markets. If you need anything, and I do want to do a meat chart here, because cattle had some really interesting price action here in the spreads also, you know, just the way they all closed. Email me, arp@NASDOG.com. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, maybe.